morning game. My guys are dead. Let's get some music, and it's still dead in here.
Yeah, that's kind of a fascinating app thing when it comes to this. This is a very unique venue. The depth perception is very much going to be something. You and I hinted at that even just when we were in Richfield. But most teams have at least played a game or two in the Sevier Valley Center. They have the preview tournaments, right? At some point, teams are likely to play in those kind of games. However, this is a very different building, the way it's constructed. A beautiful facility, don't get me wrong, a great place to play, but that might take a little bit of time to get used to.
It will be interesting to see as Emery's going to come out, run their 2-3 zone. They've got to figure out Morgan can really shoot it. Now, as we saw last game, South Summit shot mainly from behind that college black line, and that may have an effect on Morgan. We'll see how they do, but they shoot deep too, which that Syracuse-style 2-3 zone will have to lift further to guard that, which then opens the bottom up even more. What does Morgan do to try to get underneath that and get them something there to where they punish them for stretching out? I think that matchup zone of Emery's is going to have to match up more rather than staying home in their traditional 2-3 zone.
Yeah, looking, you mentioned some of the numbers. Looking shooting-wise for the Trojans, 47 from the floor, which is a phenomenal number. The three-point line has treated them well at 35%, 68% at the foul line. So solid numbers all the way around. You maybe like to get that free throw number up by a percentage point or two. But overall, this is a team that's earned it. We saw this coming, right? A year ago, they were very young, still had a very good season, almost knocked off the champion Judge Memorial in the opening round. They were the higher seed in that specific matchup. But this is just what Coach Hunt does. His teams get better each and every year as he installs his sets, his philosophies, his quote-unquote non-negotiables, right? And look, this is how you build a culture and how it pays off. This is a blueprint for how to build a high school basketball
program. Morgan
program.
now understands those non-negotiables now at the highest level, and Coach has been having those and tweaking them for a lot of years. And so you'll take a look against the zone. He will have a few set calls. He'll have a skip for three. He'll have some stuff, some screening the middle guy to get some layups there. But then they'll have some general action, and how do they use the two bigs underneath to get them catches as they shift the zone. You always want to bring a zone as far over as you can and then see if you can tackle it from the other side. So how do they flip that ball the sides of the floor?
Looking at Emery, this isn't a team that necessarily has maybe the big names that they had a cup for the last few seasons in the Stilsons and the Justices. However, they play really well together. I think it's one of the hardest coach teams I've seen since Coach Justice took over the program, and they've certainly earned their spot. You mentioned that big win against American Heritage, a team that beat Judge Memorial twice in the regular season. I think a lot of people were expecting. You and I, the night before those boys' games, we were kind of previewing the bracket, and I remember you specifically said the way Emery plays could really, really hurt American Heritage. Now, I don't think it was going to – if you would have told me it was a 70-plus point scoring game, I probably would have favored American Heritage, but Emery figured that out. What do you like about this Spartan group, and what you mentioned they're going to need to shoot well from the three-point line again should they expect to get another upset? Yeah,
they've got to have a couple threes out of Scott Johansson, but Franson's got to be able to knock those down. And then I think it's Barrowman. Is that – did I get the name right there?
Looking
or Huntsman.
Herdsman.
There we go.
Point
I
guard,
mixed them out there. Herdsman's got to hit those. When Herdsman's able to give them a few threes, then that gets there. And I really think they've got to be around that 10 mark in this game. If they can get around 10 threes to go and get Morgan to make some mistakes, they'll be right in this. And that three-point line will have a lot to do it. But Morgan's going to come out, and they're going to pressure them in different ways. There's going to be some nasty man defense. There's going to be a 1-2-2. He may go full court, but they prefer to run a lot of half-court pressure. And so how does Emery deal with that and keep their bigs in spots to score? Wes Johansson is so big and strong, but he needs to be right next to the basket. That's where he plays best. Scott can extend it out and do some different things, but then you've got to have the Herdsman, Franson, knocking down those threes and getting those to fall. So I'm excited to see how Coach makes the adjustments against the pressure, sees what he can do to get Morgan overplaying and get him in a tough spot. And then they need to get some free throws. Get to the free throw line and help you get to that. They need to score over 70 to get this one. If they don't, they'll be in trouble.
Well, you look at it. Morgan's got four guys that have hit over 20-plus threes on the season. Emery with just 3. So, again, that's something to keep an eye on as the game goes on here today. By the way, I don't know if the 80s are back, Dustin, but this is the third team I've seen in 2 weeks with the striped Indiana Hoosier style warm-ups. The
Loving
pull-aways.
the retro, yep.
Yeah, it's
the
a little
pull-aways with the candy canes. They are good to go.
You've had Kanab wear those for a couple years. Saw North Summit wearing them at 2A last week, and now the Morgan Trojans joined the greatest from the 80s trend with the striped pull-aways. So Spartans are the designated road team. They're the number 9 overall seed. They'll be in their road black uniforms here with the yellow trim. Morgan going to be in the home whites with the maroon trim and numbers. Starting for the Spartans tonight.
Warning, this guy goes fast.
He is going quick, so thanks for the heads up. Jace Franson will get the start, the senior, the sharpshooter, leading scorer on this team. Porter Hertzman, phenomenal facilitator, averages 3+ assists per game, takes really good care of the basketball. Braxton Butler, their defender. He's usually going to guard the best perimeter guy out on the floor, and then you have the two Johansson. Scott Johansson can play an inside-out game, and Wes Johansson, you mentioned how important he's going to be down inside. Looking for the Morgan Trojans, they go with number 1, Colton Assay, who's been doing this for a while in this Morgan program. Number 5 is Bracken Sanders, the junior. Number 22 is Nathan Pace, a senior. Number 31, Mason Williams, the junior. And they also go with number 11. That is Jake Hansen, just a junior. And, of course, you just talk about the job that Coach Scott Hunt has done. Great mentor to you, a guy you've learned a lot from. Have you done a Coach Hunt game before on the air?
No, this is my first.
Okay.
So I was super excited that I was able to get it. Usually I'm sitting back cheering for him. So, yep, good friend. Appreciate all he's done for me, and I'm excited to watch his team here. Emery, curious to see if they can get out in transition. This team's done some good stuff in transition. Can they get 14-ish points from that to help them get up over that 70 mark? They've really got to look at that, as this will be a scoring battle.
Opening tip 1, Mason Williams tapping it back to Jake Hansen, and we are underway. Here in the second game, winner of this game will face the Juab Wasps tomorrow night on this floor. The drive from Saunders gets inside, little push shot. The bank is strong, fight for the rebound. Ends up back inside to Saunders, and the push shot is good. Bracken Saunders for 2.
I love Morgan, all 3 white, going for that offensive rebound, tipping it around, and able to get that second chance opportunity.
Butler picks up his dribble high, gives back up top to Hertzman. Gives it Johansson just inside the three-point arc straight away. Pumps once, twice. Looking for some help. Handoff Franson. Bounce back to Johansson. He'll take it and score it. Give and go.
So pretty. I love how they use the fake handoff, but then West uses his body so well as he comes back off of that, and then he sealed again. His body was the reason that all happened.
15-foot floater from Assay, no good. Rebound comes down inside to Butler.
See if they can get that man in another tough spot.
Hand up top, Scott Johansson. Now Hertzman's got it. Pump fakes with it, gives it to West. Three-point arc, holding. Hands back, Franson left side. Little runner from Jason. That's good. The give-and-go action again.
Well, and it's off that junction over there, and it's with Wes Johansson getting the catch. I like Coach. He made the call. They ran it really, really clean, and they are struggling. Coming over the top of those dribble handoffs is killing Morgan right now.
Assay with it, gives to the cutter Sanders. That 15-foot jumper again, that's no good. Offensive rebound inside, that's no good. The second putback goes with the foul. Nathan Pace, just relentless early crashing are the Trojans of Morgan's.
That zone, they're just shooting way early out of the middle of it. They're getting the catches, but those shots, the zone's doing its job and making them off balance. They're not real good, clean shots, but then Morgan, on the other hand, just crashing the glass so hard.
Pace connects on the free throw, and that makes it a 5-4 game in favor of Morgan.
Coach Hunt's tired of that man defense. He's going to go into X. 1-2-2 half-court trap.
Ball goes to Franson on the base. Very aggressive, gets to Johansson, now back Hertzman. Goes middle to West, pumps once, now spins in the lane, sends it back up top to Butler. 17 on the shot clock. Butler hounded, ball might have been kicked, and it will be an over and back calls. It was last off of Butler. They're saying deflected, but Butler was the last one to touch it.
Looked like it came down off his leg there and went out there. So you watch that trap, how it's able to know when to trap. They key off of each other. They trap hard first, then they backed off, and then they came back opportunistic. Good trap to turn them over.
Hansen with the left-hand dribble, goes left side with it to Essay, back up top to Pace. Now another catch from Hansen, gives middle, turnaround from Essay, strong, rebound inside Johansson. That 15-foot shot's kind of been where they've gone, Dustin.
They've been working hard on that, and that time they stretched the zone a little more. I thought they might get something else, but just took another quick 15-footer.
Scott Johansson left wing triple off the back rim. We're going to get a loose ball foul headed the other way.
Wes went ahead and got a little extracurricular on that, as you can watch in that replay, and made it pretty easy on the official call.
5-4 still in favor of Morgan.
Come down here, like you said, a lot of 15-footers right from that nail area. See what Morgan gets, but they've been crashing the glass so hard.
Hansen with the right-hand dribble now comes to his left top of the key. On this 2-3 zone, Pace catches left side, back up to Hansen. Pace left wing, dump middle, pump fake from Saunders. He'll pivot, send back out to Hansen. Drive, 15-foot elbow jumper, that's off the back rim. Box out from Johansson, poked away by Pace.
Pace, tough inside there.
And then the deflection from Herdsman. Scott Johansson leads the break, bounces for West in transition, finished for 2, and the Trojans trail it now 6-5.
And that's where Emery does so good this year. Their transition has got them a lot of extra points. They ran the wet lanes really well and just really outran Morgan that possession.
Saunders with it on the left side, goes right side with it. The dump again, Sanders 15 feet away, sends back out to Pace, right side Hansen. Hansen left-hand dribble into a long 2, off the back rim, fight for the board. Last touched by Assay, and we'll go back to Emery.
I like this zone is doing its job, forcing tough twos. Lowest percentage shot in the game. It's worth about 0.7 when you're making them. Right now, Morgan not making those.
So back in this 1-2-2, Herdsman goes right side, Butler. Butler will send left side to Herdsman. Again, right side Butler getting this trap moving. Herdsman catches left side, give to Johansson. In the post, West, not a great entry pass. West draws the double, skips it to Franzen. Open corner triple, might have got blocked. What a recovery by Mason Williams. It was last touched by him, so it stays Spartan basketball.
Having all that length in that trap is such a blessing as you're able to close out and get a tip on that. He covered a lot of ground. Watch Emery using that 2-1-2. Scott Johansson coming, working that middle, trying to break that down.
Ben Russell checks in for sub of the game for either side. Franzen pumps with it on the baseline, gets it into West. West handles over on the right block, sends it left corner. Open 3, Herdsman. Buckets, nothing but the bottom of the net for Porter Herdsman.
They go man baseline out of bounds. Execution really clean. It was the later on, just in their leftover action, got him wide open.
Hansen with the basketball, standing at the Wolverine. Goes right side with it to Saunders. Now Russell, pump fake, goes down to Williams. Power dribble, sends it back outside. Open 3 on the way for Assay. That's in and out. Ball tipped, beautiful tip inside by Russell. Gives it to Williams. Power dribble right side, push shot for 2, and it goes in.
Williams, he started sizing up against that zone, and I think that helped him be able to be ready to go strong off of that rebound.
Just a bad pass from Johansson. Transition opportunity for Russell, and that makes it tied at 9.
Watch him throw that up ahead, right in rhythm, just clean action. They're right back into their trap.
Butler too high, forces another turnover and an errant pass.
And that's where you see that trap, and Coach, he's ready for a timeout as the trap has sped them up. They've turned it over so quickly. They've got to have a conversation about how they're going to execute against that trap.
So Brett Griffin is going to check in. He's just a freshman who's had a great freshman. He's going to be a real player for Emery. Very composed, gives you some good size even as a freshman. But let's talk a little bit. How do you counter what Morgan's doing, speeding them up?
So you've got to hit passes on target first and foremost, and Emery likes to use a 2-1-2. And so that allows you to shift the top guard. So you go with an even man front versus an odd man. So that gives you the guy chasing. So if you can get him moving and stay stretched enough and hit on target, then your trap, you lift the first trap, which brings the guy to the middle. The other guy is open there. Or if they don't cover the middle right, and a lot of those traps won't cover it, you hit the big guy right there. He turns and faces. All he has to do is take a couple dribbles. The bottom has to make a decision because now you're 2-on-3 like you practice all day in practice.
Again, tied at 9. It was 9-5, back-to-back buckets from Morgan. They've had a lot of second chance opportunities, and now those turnovers are coming. That's a recipe for disaster if you're Emery.
They've got to clean that up. They've been able to hit the threes. They've been able to get transition, which we talked about they had to do to keep the scoring going. But now they've got to quit turning the ball over against this trap. I'd imagine Coach Hunt will look a little different coming down the floor next possession. We'll see.
Hansen with the left-hand dribble. Gives it high to Russell. Right side with it, Saunders. In the corner, Assay. Goes middle, Williams. Power dribble, turns, pushes, spanks, and scores.
Much better pull out of the timeout right there. Instead of shooting a tough two, they get Williams another one going at the rim, stretching the zone from the corner.
Johansson skips it over right side, Griffin. He'll pump with it. Just loses control of the dribble, and another turnover. Johansson then gets it right back and then throws it. Somehow Griffin saves it. Gets it to Johansson.
Good hustle by Griffin. He's got a good game. Good ball handler.
Griffin right to the rim, blocked. Rebound comes down inside to Hansen.
Welcome to state basketball.
Getting tested early, the freshman, isn't he?
Yep.
Williams gets the dump inside. Power dribble, draws a triple team. They're going to call a foul inside. This is on West. That's going to be number 2.
And look at the difference in what happened. They finally started pounding inside. You draw fouls. You get good finishes. They quit settling for that jumper that it's going to be there all game long. It's just not going to generate the points that going inside will do.
Johansson will sit. Will Jeffs will check in. Will is very more than capable of holding his own inside. Brings a good energy off the bench.
Very rugged, hard worker.
Ball goes left side to Hansen. Send corner. Assay down to Russell. Williams. Power dribble. Sends it back right outside. And, yeah, that's going to be 3 seconds. Williams never got back out after making the pass.
Yeah, he had been in there, and then he didn't make a play on the hoop at all, and then he got stuck. And so that definitely gave a good 3-second call. Emery got to come up and move against this. They're bringing 3 up and getting out of that 2-on-2.
Herdsman's going to skip it right side to Franzen. Franzen pumps, sends back high to Griffin. Griffin right side, Franzen. Skip it over left side, Johansson. In the corner, Herdsman pumps. Sends it back high, right to Russell. Another turnover for the Spartans. Russell, the shovel pass to Saunders. He is fouled, to say the least. A good hard hit.
Johansson boys aren't scared to just lay a little wood.
Nothing malicious.
Hard.
You're just not giving up.
Awesome.
You're just not giving up the easy 2, and that will be 2 shots here for Bracken Sanders.
Morgan staying in that 1-2-2 trap and just turning them over. That time they got the ball down, but with all that length, and it's so fun. Watching them in Morgan on that short floor with all this length in that trap is something else. Now they've got an extra 5 feet they've got to cover, but they're still able to cover it really, really well.
So free throw coming here for Saunders. It's no good. Checking in is Brody Peterson, and they'll get pace back in the game as well.
And Coach Hunt getting his guys and when you work this hard, you got to get in, get them a little rest. Different ways to do that, but 2 minutes left here and go in the quarter. Give his guys a breather.
Second shot from Saunders, also no good. Board inside to Scott Johansson. 11-9 in favor of Morgan. They scored the last 6 points. A bit of a dry spell for Emery. Griffin bounces and a kick, and it will stay Spartan basketball.
They had shifted to a 1-3-1 to break it, but that time it actually just dropped kind of into a 1-2-2, almost matching up with them. They're going to have to know where these gaps are and flash into them and hit them on target. You can't stretch out your teammate with a bad pass. Needs to be on target because you're trying to make this zone overshift, but they're coming at you.
A.J. Thomas checks into the ball game for Emery. Did not see him in a lot of the games I did this year. A high pass, Franzen steps into a college range 3 off the front rim. Rebound, Russell. Russell, long outlets, high. Franzen's got it.
Good job by Emery in transition. They got 4 back really well right there.
Herdsman bumps, taken away. Jake Hansen now leads the break for the Trojans. Left side, right to the basket. Johansson with a block shot. Rebound comes down, Herdsman, and then he is bumped and fouled.
Walled up, got tough on that one, did a nice job. And then Morgan, they're coming after the ball. You've got to protect it. They're 95 feet from the hoop. He chooses to just squeeze him out. You can't get the extra bump. You can raise up and wall on him, but once he leans backwards, when you take a space, you can't hit him.
Thomas gets it right side, Herdsman. Skip left side, Franzen. Franzen's going to skip right again, Herdsman. Down on the block to Jeffs. Jeffs catches, doubled again. So aggressive, deflected. It's going to stay with Emery.
You love to see the backside of that trap dropping down and in front timely, because that's the look that a lot of times you can get against a trap like this, but Morgan dropping in and protecting that right.
Herdsman will send out, sideline. Franzen catches left side. Jace with the left-hand dribble. Again, this defense is just suffocating as Thomas catches, gets in, puts up a little runner shot. It's off the back rim, no good. Pace outlets to Russell. In transition, right side, Peterson. Asay, the runner, off the back window, no. The tip in good by Pace.
Watch how they all run and they pass on target. They're working together. They can see it. They're unselfish. The ball just moves up the floor.
Franson skips left side. Herdsman is going to take an NBA level three, maybe even deeper rebound. Pace.
The trap doing its exact job. Rushed threes and then they're very deep threes. So he's going to go for one shot here. Got a 4-point lead. Go in up 4 or else up 6 or 7. See what they get out of it.
Calls out the play, Lobo. We are right here by both these benches at Utah Valley University. 10 on the clock. Hezzy dribble from Hansen. Cut off baseline from Thomas. Going to skip it. Up high, sends corner Asay. 3 on the clock, back up top. Deep 3 for Peterson off the back rim, and that will end quarter number 1. After 1 quarter of play, it is Morgan 13, Emery 9, right here on TeamHive.live and KSLSports.com.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Well, Dustin, you know what the old Clark Griswold used to say, if this tastes half as good as it looks, we're in for a real treat. And if this 3A tournament is half as good as 2A was over the weekend, I think we're really in for something special. And so far, so good. Some phenomenal competition here early.
Been really fun. So Morgan going to come out. They've been running that trap. They're going to come out, man, this possession. Last time you could tell they just didn't execute cleanly. Look at that denial pressure.
My goodness. Hansen just picked it off. Goes right up for 2. They do not call anything. It goes back to Russell. He's going to send left side. Peterson, Asay, left wing 3, high archer buckets.
They passed the ball well off that offensive rebound, but Emery, I thought they contested in transition very, very well. Now they're going to flip back into the trap. So one possession man, back to that trap that's been doing them so good.
Johansson swings left side. Thomas pumps, picks up his dribble, sends it back up top to Johansson. Thomas left side, just absolutely suffocated. They're going to call a foul. It'll be side out of bounds. First team foul of the period on Morgan.
And good job by Emery being strong with the ball, getting their catches, and when we talk about they have to be on target, those work, because if you stretch him out on that, then that ball's for Russell's easier just to go grab. But where it was on target, he stays tight, he's able to draw the foul instead. Just a fraction of a difference makes a big time difference.
Thomas, wild pass. Franson comes back to it. Absolutely hounded left side. Thomas hesitates, gets in the paint, and sends it to no one again.
And that's what I'm going to beat it to death, but they stretched him out with an off-target pass that you called, and then the moves, and so then all the movement for the defense is in their benefit because they have time to catch up and put more pressure on you.
Hansen with the basketball. Gives it back up top, left side with it. Peterson back to Pace, goes middle. Power dribble, send back up top. Hansen, free throw line jumper from straight away, off the front rim and in. That is now 11 unanswered for Morgan. Tie up. Hansen got in, just relentless.
He brought him right to that trap, and that's if you can set that trap on the half line, you've got the extra defender right there, and that's where you want to set it. You can catch him, make him pick that ball up. He's in big old trouble because he can't pivot nearly as cleanly, and he doesn't have as much space to throw a release pass. There's really no space.
Left side on the catch and send back up top. Asay. Now Saunders, right wing. Hansen, triple strong. Rebound comes down to Thomas. Thomas probably got away with a walk there. Gets it ahead to Franson. Franson swarmed and fouled.
Morgan just over pursuing those spots when they get them to the baseline. They're definitely sending them to the ground. Got to get themselves under control. You get as a player, you get so excited when they head down there because you know they're in big old trouble. So sometimes it can get you to overplay and get a foul.
Baseline out of bounds here for Emery as Franson will send in. Not a lot of baseline plays for the Spartans here.
So far. One of the few 1-4 low. They run so many out of a box set. One of the few 1-4 low plays I've seen from them.
Fake from Butler. Thomas gets inside. Pump fake, sends it back up top to Butler. Right hand dribble. Franson, right side, swings it over Johansson. Gives down low. Inside out. Franson pumps on the three. Gets right into the rim. Floater off the back rim. No good. Wes Johansson taps it back out to Butler.
And that's those Johansson boys. They are relentless. They work so hard.
Thomas for three. Buckets. A.J. Thomas, who's only taken 3 threes on the year now, his fourth. He's made all 4
and
on the season.
He could have had a fourth. He could have had a free throw right there because they hit his legs for sure. Official decided to let it go to keep the game playing on the floor.
Saunders, turnaround 15-footer. That's pure.
That's going to make the zone have to be different if he's going to start hitting that. And that one was a 9-footer, not a 15-footer. But that will have to shift that 2-3 some.
Johansson puts it on the floor, sends corner to Scott. Triple on the way. It's nearly banked in from the corner, and rebound comes down to Jake Hansen.
Oh, and watch how he tips it over to Hansen right there. Just head, he knows he can't rebound over Johansson, but he can tip it.
A save for 3, no. Rebound, Braxton Butler. Butler on the outlet. Thomas catches, fumbles right corner, recovers, or left corner, excuse me, swing to Franson. Triggers 3, right wing, strong. Rebound inside, gives to Scott. Couldn't decide if it was a pass or a shot. It goes down into West. West muscles it up and in. Can't get that one to fall. Rebound comes down to Peterson.
West, he plays so hard, but that's just a miserable spot for him right there with all that length and in front of the rim.
Saunders, right wing 3. That hits nothing but the side of the backboard. Now an outlet to Thomas. Emery trying to play with pace to get back the way this zone's playing. Open 3, Franzen. Got to have it. Off the front rim, no. Rebound inside. Timeout to the Morgan Trojans here. Why is Coach Hunt using this
shot selection? Their shot selection's gone downhill, so the momentum's lost. They had all the momentum in the world the way they were executing and what they were pounding inside and what they were doing. But because they started jacking threes, Coach Hunt says, we're done with this. We're trying to make a run for a title here. Clean this up.
20. Oh, go ahead.
On the other end of the floor, if you're Emery, that last 3 was a much better 3 for them. It was an inside-out 3. They got an attack. They kicked it out instead of just coming out and just taking a side 3. They need the 3, but you're in the second quarter in the game. You don't. I hate jacking 3s at any time, but you just don't need to do that. So be under control, move the ball, and then get those good inside-out shots.
He's still got an 8-point lead. It's 20-12, and that's the Coach Hunt mentality, right? Always striving to be better, always trying to perform better on the floor.
Clean up what your expectations are right there, and that's one thing he's wanted to work on, cleaning his offensive possessions up. And you could see these guys, they've got all the confidence in the world to score, which is so fun. But also, you've got to still keep that within what is a great team shot.
4:39 to go here in quarter number 2. Again, it was 9-5 at one point, so this is a 15-3 run for Morgan spanning back to the opening period. A save goes with it left side, pace, ball fake, bounce back up top. Saunders, left side, Hansen now. Trying to get this 2-3 moving.
And you can see that. Played against the zone a lot. That movement starts well, and then it starts to break down.
Ball goes corner, open 3, Assay. Good. Much better done. Look at Coach Hunt's look, that's exactly what he wanted out of the timeout.
Ball moved well. They got the wide open 3 instead of shooting something that was kind of contested or a middle 2, a tough 2.
Thomas will take the right wing 3. That's strong. Rebound comes down to Assay.
And that's how you get momentum back. You go down, get the look you want, and then hold them to one and done.
Ball goes back up top, swing it left side, inside Saunders, back out Assay, another open triple. It's good again. Much better shot selection.
But they had a seal on the bottom that sucked the zone in, and then he threw opposite. So he looked bottom first, and the seal was guarded. So then he threw out opposite.
Butler catches low, gives to West. Power dribble, sends corner to Scott. His three-point shot's on the way. It is off the rim and no good. West fighting for it off the backboard. Butler comes away with it inside.
Great job by Emery to fight for that board.
Herdsman long 2. No. Rebound pace.
That time Morgan didn't have a chance. I mean, Emery didn't have a chance. Morgan cleaned house on the boards on that one after giving up that offensive board. I liked how hard Emery worked for that.
Left side with it. Give back right wing Hansen. 3 minutes to go before halftime. This is now a 21-3 run. As the ball gets deflected off the head of Williams, he recovers, gives to Pace, back up top Saunders. Bracken gets in the lane, floater for two, high off the window, does not even hit rim. We'll get a foul inside on Emery.
They've got the action of the zone almost moving well. That you watch the top guys as they flash into the nail, but the bottom guy is not sealing as hard as he needs to be. He needs to seal that zone, because then that draws the defense. It'll open up the three, or it'll give him a layup. And that's where that action's got to come together. If you're Emery, you love your zone because it's different to play against. And you can see they haven't hit that clean rhythm yet, being Morgan.
Couple more subs, Brett Griffin and Jace Franson back in, along with Brody Peterson and Ben Russell. Heads up play by the freshman. Griffin just picked that clean.
Well, and they stayed stacked down in. They'd ran a little pick to pick the middle guy, and Emery didn't let it happen.
Franson dumps low into a crowd. Saunders takes it away.
You want to know how go get the ball. You watch Morgan right there. They had two guys coming through there.
Saunders push shot, no good. Fights for the rebound. Pumps, takes it up for two. That is no good. Rebound to Scott Johansson.
It's physical ball game. Emery's doing a good job making it hard on him inside there.
Scott sends it out. Hertzman was on the end line.
And we didn't talk about that much last week. We didn't see as much as we do in the previews, but with this college line, a lot of our high school players will be behind it, and then they step back to get their momentum going, and they step out of bounds.
Very much an awareness thing. As the ball comes back into the Trojans, and Jake Hansen will set the offense up again. 2:12 to go before halftime. Hansen.
You got your 1-3-1 set there with the guy in the middle. Nobody picked him up.
Russell, tough
still
too.
Don't need to shoot that tough too.
And then guess who pokes it away? Peterson. Hertzman then gets it, and he's going to get called for the foul.
Ended up, and when you turn it over, you want to go get it back, and you love to go see work to go get it back, but don't foul him. Just get in position, play strong, and don't get an extra foul just because you're trying to come back. That's not working hard.
Second team foul on the Spartans.
Coach Hunt keeps talking about being patient.
Hansen goes middle. Russell sends right side. Peterson back up to Hansen. Hansen with the left-hand dribble goes middle, bounce low, deflected. Redwell, Scott Johansson.
Getting closer, but Emery defending it better.
Franson, 15-foot baseline. Jay does not go. Tipped right to him. Gets the bunny.
Like that tip right there from Wes. He's so good at working. He just works and works and works. Morgan fell asleep, took advantage of it, chipped away from that lead a little more.
Johansson fouls out front.
And you want to come to the front of that if you feel like you've got the percentage to jump that, and that's that forward on the way they play that Syracuse style. He can come get that, but you can't come through, and that's a good job by Morgan to keep coming to the ball. If he sits back and waits for that, then instead it's just a turnover.
Ball goes right side, and a high pass. Russell's got to go retrieve it, taps it to Hansen, bounce middle, Assay, right wing Peterson triple, off the back rim, rebound comes down to Griffin.
Nice job keeping him out, passing, just skipping around and throwing it up.
My goodness, that is not a freshman out there. Brett Griffin, the gallop, the ball fake, the finish and the harm. What a take from number 15.
And Emery getting a few of those transition points to help him out. They need to get him. That I was going to say easier, but there was nothing easy about that one. As Breck, what a play. And like you called the freshman, that was tough.
Made it look easy. It was not by any stretch.
Starting to work that comeback game. They're compounding a few possessions right here. They're able to get a few buckets. They got to have another stop. But watch Herdsman as he's pinning the ball from time to time. He especially pins it on the right side. Watch how that shifts the way that Morgan is playing against it.
Deflection, Herdsman.
Got the ball.
Emery's defense making plays for him. Franzen back up Herdsman, pumps on the three, steps into it. That's still a three, and it's good. Porter Herdsman, oh, they say two. I thought he was well behind the line. They're going to call that a two-point shot.
Well, they could have used it, but Herdsman playing tough up on top. I like how Emery has taught him to move. He changes the way that your guards move. Coach Hunt says he's going to just take one here.
About a 5-second differential between shot and game clock. 26-18. Spartans get a little bit of life here to end the quarter. Let's see how Morgan answers.
So this is the same one they tried to run last time, and they were so confused on. It looks like they're still working on being confused.
Peterson with 3 seconds, down to 2 with 1. Peterson launches. They're going to say he did not get it off in time, and it will go back to the Spartans.
Just not getting in. We talked about it coming out of the quarter break because they made the same mistake. Not getting into your zone entries. They don't run them a lot. Just in practice, and they haven't seen a lot of zones. So that time, Emery zone wins that one. They have a chance with 2.7. So you've got 3 dribbles. See if you can get something around the shot. Knock this down a little bit more.
So they add some time, 4.3 officially on the
that
clock.
changes a lot of stuff. You can get to the rim if you go.
Herdsman, right side, Franson. Bobbles is not going to get it off in time either way. So that will end quarter number 2, and that takes us to halftime. Morgan 26, Emery 18. We'll be back with the halftime show next, right here on TeamHive.live, KSLSports.com, and ETV.
State Bank of Southern Utah is not just another bank. We are your neighbors, your friends, and your local financial partners, interested in building long-term relationships.
When you choose State Bank, you invest in our community. Your money stays here and is reinvested in friends and family, building Southern Utah.
Each one of our 17 branches is staffed and ready to serve you.
Come and experience the difference of true community banking at State Bank of Southern Utah.
Your car carries you and those you love through the days and years. It deserves the best care you can give it. At Burt Brothers, we can help with that. We've been doing it better than anyone else since 1991, and we'll keep doing it to get you through all the important moments on life's roads. Because cars are more than how we get from here to there, they're how we get from there to here. Find your nearest store and discover special offers at burtbrothers.com.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
A new year and a new adventure with the perfect Chevy to take you anywhere. With pure power unleashed and future-forward technology. Because every mile matters. And every path leads to new possibilities.
Current Chevy owners can get $7,850 total value on this 2025 Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
See your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
This is Nate Christensen at Zions Bank. We're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. And with a branch right around the corner, we're here for you wherever you are. For all your personal and business banking needs, come visit us and let us show you how Zions Bank is for you.
These days, kids do a lot of their homework online. They talk to their teachers, they receive assignments, and they do research, all from our kitchen table. That's why I chose Centricom Fiber Internet. They have the fastest and most reliable connection, so my kids can stay on top of their schoolwork.
Live high school sports action on Centricom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back on in. It's halftime here in Orem at Utah Valley University. 26-18 our score in favor of the Morgan Trojans. Tanner Wilkinson, Dustin Shakespeare here with you. Our good friend Brad James. It's a busy 10 out of 11 days for Mr. Brad. As soon as our tournament's over here, he's going to make the trek back to Richfield where he was last week. What do his numbers tell us here at the half, Dustin?
Talking about turnovers to start with, here as we come across. Morgan able to turn Emery over 13 times. They're on pace for 26 turnovers. If you're Emery, you've got to take care of the ball better. If you're Morgan, you want to turn them over and then capitalize on that. I thought Emery got back a couple times pretty good off those turnovers and protected the hoop better, but they got to take care of that ball. On your assists, they're about even, 7-5. Morgan's got a couple extra ones. They got out in transition, made a couple pretty passes. But rebounding, the offensive boards have been so good for Morgan. They've got 9 of them to just 4 for Emery, and that's a big part for Emery. They've got those bigs, those Johanssons, Jeffs. They've generally able to get some of those, and so far not able to get many more than 4. So they've got to figure out how to balance that out. Quit giving them up to Morgan, and they've got to get a couple more. Defensive rebounds, Emery is winning that one 11-9. So they've done a really nice job defensively for the most part. But the problem I just said is Morgan has 9 offensive boards. So are they winning defensive rebounds? Yes. But should they be winning by further? Absolutely, as they've given up those extra offensive rebounds as they've gathered up 9 of them. The three-point line has been tough. Emery just shooting 18% from the three-point line. So just really struggling from there, and you got to credit the Morgan defense is that, man, they got out of it early as they gave up some easy ones and they went to that trap. The trap sped them up, and they're shooting side threes. Just anything that kind of resembles open, they're letting it fly. Morgan, on the other hand, sitting at 33. Of course, you'd like that to be higher. You're not real happy because they've shot against the zone. They've shot some hurried threes, but overall doing a better job. Inside, 34% for Emery, doing pretty good, and then Morgan 36%. So neither one of them from inside really doing great. And you got to give defense. That zone has forced a lot of tough twos for Morgan. It's been a mess. Neither team shooting many free throws. Just one made for, that's even an attempt right there for Emery, and then 3 attempted for Morgan. So nobody's doing that. And realistically, we look at the way the game's been played, nobody's going at the rim consistently. They've done a lot of outside shooting. So see if they can get that cleaned up and get something to get at the line, especially if you're Emery. What do you do to get to the line? How do you make sure your threes are good? Because they've got to have those threes. We talked about they need to be around 10 made. They need to get there, and then they've got to get towards that 14 points off a transition, and they did a few. They're getting there, but they've got to keep the pressure on, get that pass up ahead, and see what they can get that way.
Well, when you look at it, it seems like they started to figure a few things out there at the end of the first half, the Spartans, on both ends of the floor, really.
No, the Spartans did on both ends of the floor. I thought that they were able to get their game a little more fluid. They were able to get their defense. I love watching Herdsman. When you watch the top of a zone, 2 threes, you can play it so many different ways, but they designed Herdsman to pick up the ball, and then he pins either way, but he's able to rotate and face up at the top. So pinning means you've got feet perpendicular to the sideline. So you're facing the sideline and holding him that way rather than being flat on him. But when the ball comes to the middle, he flattens out, and then if it comes inside, he pins again. And that movement has helped on the top as it's changed what's going on. And then the other guy takes the pass and slips down, helps with the high post. Morgan, their action on the high post, they flashed well, but they get lost. Sometimes the ball side guy ends up flashing, and that's the offside usually supposed to. He's supposed to come in, and so they've hit together. And when they've hit together, then it just kind of blows up their action. And then on the bottom, the bigs, they're not sealing the zone on the backside. So you have to stay calm against the zone on the bottom. Because you can't just sit there and play pinball and go back and forth and seal, bang, bang. Stay calm, and as the ball rotates, know if you're sealing the front of him or if you're sealing the back of him. And if you can catch the wing, seal for the 3. So you've got to settle down and see the game as it moves down there, and you really kind of become the orchestrator of how everything can move if you're making contact and sealing those bigs of Emery. Of course, Emery's played this zone so much, they know how to move around those, and they do a nice job. It's a fun, watching a zone move is really fun when it's good. And both sides, we've seen a great half-court 1-2-2 trap move very well, and we've seen that 2-3 go there. And Emery needs to stay in that zone. That's where they're best. If they get out into their full court 2-2-1, I would expect to see Morgan go over the top of it and get a layup. If they come man, Morgan will quickly go to a set play And it'll be interesting to see how Emery can defend that, because Morgan runs a lot of good set actions. Their screens are sharp, and they've got scorers.
It's 26-18 at our half as both teams back out here getting set for the second half. Dustin, just thinking about how Morgan has just seemed like maybe the more, I don't want to say prepared team, but maybe just the better adjusting team, right? Like Emery comes out in that first quarter. They led 9-5. I mean, they were playing some really good basketball early. A switch happened. What same fire needs to be lit under them at halftime for the way they closed half number one?
Well, and that's a Coach Hunt team, is they're going to have those switches. He's not scared to run anything in the book. His guys understand how to adjust. You might see a 1-3-1. You'll see a diamond press. You'll see, of course, the half-court stuff. And then you'll see the man, and their man's really good. That's where they spend the most time in practice, is working on their man. And then he uses his zones to throw you off balance. If you're Emery on the other side, you work every day in the zone. And they zone the heck out of it, and I think it's caused some good problems here for Morgan. And they've got the size. That's the fun thing this Emery team has against this number one seeded Morgan, is they have enough size to compete with it. A lot of teams aren't going to have that through the tournament, and Emery has it right here.
Again, 26-18, second half just about to get started. As once again, Morgan leads by 8. Again, it was 9-5 at one point in favor of Emery. The Trojans then went on a furious run. Emery started to get back into it a little bit at the end of the first half. Appreciate you tuning in with us here on TeamHive.live, partnering with ETV and KSLSports.com for the 3A Boys Basketball Championships. Got 2 more matchups after this one, and then all 4 girls games following. So, again, the 2A tournament was fantastic last week. So many good, fun, hard, competitive games all the way through both championships. We're hoping for the same thing.
Should be some fun ones. We've got one right here. These two teams can score in bunches, where I talked about Emery's transition being quite a benefit for them this year. They've really been able to get some stuff out of it. They need that. They need that to help them out here. And then on the other side, we know Morgan will score in bunches. So how do you stem that bunches? If you're Coach Justice, do you use a timeout? And as you've chipped away this and got it down to this 8-point game, do you call a timeout if you see a run coming from Morgan?
Herdsman with the basketball, just absolutely swarmed by Hansen. Right side, Scott Johansson. Guarded out front by Saunders. They go to West on the block. West powers, pumps, spins, takes it up for 2. No, but a foul, and it does in fact go down.
Well, and he stayed comfortable, and I wondered when he caught so far out and away if he would be able to get himself back into a position to score, and he does. He works his way right to the block, and then habits just take over for you as a post player. You as soon as you feel it, and it's a fun feeling in your periphery, as soon as you get to that sweep spot, you know what you're going to do because you can feel the defense, and you just beat him. You can't play him one-on-one if he gets to that spot.
West makes it a 5-point game. Closest the Spartans have been sometime. Saunders sends right side open 3. Assay off the back rim. Fight for the board. It's loose. And we're going to say touched by Morgan on the baseline. It goes back to Emery.
Good fight. Emery coming out of the half, aggressive to get those 50-50 balls, able to get it down here to this 5-point game. So you're at 2 possessions. And here comes Morgan. They were in man. It looks like they're going to stay man. Yep.
Herdsman right side, bumped out front. Picks up his dribble, gives Scott Johansson. Saunders and him banging back and forth, and a foul's going to be called on Saunders.
Well, and I wondered what would happen because he put that hand check on early, and as he curled, then that gave him that second opportunity to get hit with that hand check down, and you see the whistle blow. You've got to show your hands.
Herdsman looks to send in, pumps with it. Goes back in the backcourt to Johansson, who's got to go retrieve it.
Here comes the trap. He's right there at the half line.
Skips past right side, Herdsman. Sends corner, Franson. It's deflected. Jace recovers. Pumps with it. Sends it back, Herdsman. Into West. West bobbles, catches. Skips it left side. Scott pumps, swarmed. Gets in for a 10-foot jumper. It's long. My goodness, how quick is Morgan to get to those empty spots?
Yep, they cover ground so well, and they pushed him into a tough 2.
Drive from Assay, sends right side, Hansen, left-hand dribble, gets in the lane. Bounce pass low, taken away, Scott Johansson gets it.
And the zone was able just to shrink, and when the zone does that, their hands are always active. Good deflection.
Franson, 3, straight on, strong, rebound Assay. Outlet right side to Pace. Quick transition opportunity, a foul. It's going to lead to 2 shots for Nathan Pace.
I like how he leaned in there, used his left hand to where it had to be a foul, gave himself a chance. He kind of ran through it there, but just gave himself a chance to get the end one, but more importantly, getting to that free throw line, which we talked about. Neither team got there much in the first half.
Shot is good from Pace.
Emery going to have another opportunity here. They're trying to discuss how they're going to defend.
Get one more, and it goes in. 28-21, 6:22 left here in quarter number 3. Ball goes left side to Scott. The trap comes now right side, Herdsman. Herdsman sends left side Johansson. Scott steps into a long 3. That grazes the rim. Butler with the save. Johansson coming up with it. Gives to Herdsman. Porter goes right side. Franzen pumps, gets in the middle, sends to Porter, left wing 3. That's no good. Johansson taps it back out. Franzen saves it to Herdsman. Johansson
coming out of half, wanting that ball.
Open 3, Herdsman, no. Offensive board, Scott Johansson pumps, takes it up, blocked. Fight for it, comes to Johansson again. Another possession for Emery. Herdsman left side with it, pumps, sends up top to Scott. Left-hand dribble, split, deflected, still on the ground, and Williams is going to get tied up.
Scott and West Johansson dominating the boards down underneath there, just going to work. Morgan coming out a little flat-footed. Finally, after they luck out with a jump ball, because Emery should have scored, because they just kept getting after it. Couldn't get one to roll in.
Thomas is going to check back in, gave them some good minutes. Butler will sit. How often, you and I are right here by Coach Hunt, how many times do we hear rebound, over and over on that possession?
Yeah, you'll see a timeout here for long if they keep that up, but they'll get her cleaned up. Emery, the zone causing lots of tough twos.
Ball goes left side to Pace. Pace sends top of the key. Deep 3. Hansen, that's strong. Thomas fighting for it. Saunders saves it right to Assay. Assay, hezzy dribble. 15-foot floater is good. Colton Assay.
He can really score when he gets going right there, just showing all the time he's put in to hit that floater. That is one of the toughest shots.
Johansson with it right side. Gets back up top, Herdsman.
They're just doing a nice job running them with that 2-1-2, just making those top guys have to run a lot.
Wide open 3, Herdsman, in and out. Rebound inside Hansen. I think we're going to get a tie-up. No call. Johansson just takes it away. Franzen right wing 3. That's short. West saves it, but right to Pace. Saunders all alone to the rim. Hammers it easily for 2. Timeout to Morgan.
Coach Hunt's going to talk about some rebounding and taking care of the ball. They got lucky right there as they had given up another one as the Emery comes out of the half just dominating the effort, and Coach Hunt can't stand it anymore. He calls a timeout after we see the dunk.
Oh, I think they've gotten 2 lucky bounces, right? They had the jump ball, and then you happen to have a guy leaking out. You could tap it out to him for the easy dunk.
And that's all it was, is very lucky bounces that ended up stretching this out to 11 points. But Emery has done more every possession, all possession long. And so that's where you see this timeout being called about the toughness, effort of Morgan Trojans.
4:39 to go as Coach Hunt, we can hear him loud and clear from over here. That message
got a good
is
voice that carries.
I got to say, he lucked out going into coaching. I always say I lucked out going into what I went into.
Yep.
And I think Coach Hunt can say the same thing when it comes to coach. I don't have a coach's voice, but Coach Hunt most definitely does.
Yes, he does. And he's got him fired up here. See what happens. I love how Emery came out of half. Man, live, they have been so scrappy, getting after anything. Now, look, they've got, okay, there they go into their 2-1-2. They dropped it a little bit low earlier, but they've started moving against this trap a little bit better, making it have to shift and wearing Morgan down a little bit.
Thomas sends left side, Herdsman. West catches, free throw line extended. Power dribble, sends corner. 3 on the way from Scott. Good. Scott Johansson with a massive three-pointer.
West sets that up because the extra dribble sucked that all zone in, not recognizing where the shooter was. Scott ready to catch and shoot.
32-24. Ball goes middle to Saunders. Backdoor Williams. Hammer dunk.
And against the zone, they finally execute. Able to get underneath it. That's one of the very few times we've seen them get underneath this Spartan zone.
Right side skip. Herdsman goes middle. Johansson deflected by Hansen.
Love his effort right there to go knock that loose.
Crosses over. Gets right corner. 3 on the way. AC banked it in from the corner.
Sometimes you got to get lucky, and they have this third quarter. That was a big lucky three to fall in.
Going Charles Abuo in the corner as Thomas catches right side, gives left side Herdsman. Skip to Franson, open triple pumps with it. Steps left side Herdsman, shovel past Johansson, wasn't ready for it. Draws the double, sends to Thomas. His three-point shot on the right wing is strong. Tipped back out, Herdsman, left side Johansson, another triple, strong. Another rebound to Thomas. Is absolutely, despite the 13-point lead, Morgan getting owned on the boards. Open three for Franzen, no. Johansson, the offensive board, he's fouled and is going to shoot two.
Timeout, not doing his job as Morgan getting dominated on the glass, especially the offensive glass. We talked about it at half that they needed to clean up and not let Morgan get offensive rebounds, and they needed them. They've come out and done exactly that. They are cleaning it up. But I like, so here's the college three, interesting. I think it's stretching the floor better, so their passes and their skips are making Morgan move a whole lot more in that trap. But it's also, I think, the reason they're missing so many.
Sure.
Because they're shooting from deeper than expected. But yet, I think the spacing from having that extra has caused this zone to give them a lot more space, and it's wearing them down. Emery's passing been really good here in the third quarter.
Free throw goes for Johansson. Cuts it back to a 10-point game, or to an 11-point. Should be 37-27. It's taken away. Brett Griffin now. Bounce past Thomas, takes it up, denied by Russell. My goodness, what a block shot.
They go 2-2-1, and actually Breck, the freshman, doing a nice job, but just couldn't capitalize.
AC transition three, that's no good. Rebound Thomas. Goes behind the back and trying to get some help here. Bumped and fouled.
Just overdue. Again, you got to know when to reach. That is not the time.
Got to say this about Coach Hunt. He's got a good whistle. You got to have that is.
Yeah, you know his whistle, and you turn and face.
You could hear that if we were at the Marriott Center right now and he was doing it. My goodness. Left side, Johansson's got it. Gives back up top, Thomas. AJ with it up top. Swings left side, Scott. Griffin made the wrong cut. Fortunate for Emery, it was deflected.
Yeah, you got fortunate there. They sucked their zone into just a shifting 1-2-2. And now they're going to drop down 2-3 baseline out of bounds. And that might be, they run a lot of box. Okay, are they going to get there? Oh, they went 1-4 low. So against the zone, they're liking to go 1-4 low.
Franson to send in. Pumps with it. Gives low to West. Doubled. Power dribble from Johansson. Sends out high Griffin. He'll pump with it. Get into the lane. Sends back to Franson. Three left wing. Strong. Rebound. Peterson. Long outlet to AC. He'll take it right to the rim and lay it in. That makes it 39-26.
Just cannot give up transition like that. Just caught him sleeping as Morgan saw who was getting the ball, and they were out of there.
Franson right side with it. Gives to Thomas. Now right side, Franson again. Thomas trying to direct some traffic.
Sucking that. It's almost a 3-2 instead of a 1-2-2. You see how he sucked down on the nail.
Back up Thomas. Gives middle. Bumping a foul on Griffin.
He's got so... His hands, Coach Hunt says, don't foul out, but Brody Peterson just going after the ball like a wild man, not recognizing you can't whack arms and get the ball.
So that's team foul number 5 on Morgan in the period.
And so they'll have bonus here the rest of the time, and that's if you remember we talked about they needed to get to the free throw line. They've got this Morgan Trojan team having to move a lot. They just need to now chip away.
First shot from Griffin is no good.
So
Jeffs is going to check back in.
That will change things a little bit. Wes, he's been able to do a lot of good. Must need a little breather right here. Jeffs, he'll work hard. Wes is able to do a few other things moving the ball wise.
Free throw from Griffin. No good. So a chance to earn some back for Emery. They come up empty-handed. Saunders with the ball in his hands. Gives it over right side to AC, now right corner. The dribble drive, the bounce. Saunders, power dribble. Gives to the cutter. It's Russell. Sends back Peterson. Deflected. Ends up in AC's hands. Peterson right wing triple. Long. And that will be out of bounds to the Spartans.
Right there. Jeffs comes in the game, makes substitution, takes the middle of that zone, and he took that penetration away every time. Sucked it up and almost tied him up. Did a great job in the middle right there, coming in, giving Wes Johansson a breather. And Morgan sucking back into this 3-2.
High pass to Griffin middle, sends out Thomas, pumps, kept his feet down, Tries to split that double. The runner, the bank could score.
He just got Morgan flying at him, stayed patient as they made errors defensively. Got him a decent look.
Peterson with it, top of the arc, gives right side to AC, dumps down low Williams, pumps, Saunders turns, pushes, scores.
And you see Saunders sucking down into the bottom of that drop zone instead of clear up there at 15, making that shot a little easier.
Franson right wing, gives back up top. Thomas pumps with it, gets in the lane. Sends back right side Saunders, better hands, pokes it away. In transition, Thomas tries to poke it free. It's a foul before the dunk from Russell's not one of the guys you peg being able to throw it down. There's a lot of guys that can on this Morgan team, but they're going to say a foul beforehand, and it'll be 2 shots for Saunders.
You sit at night and dream about being able to do something like that, seeing it coming off the rim and putting it down. What a fun finish right there. The foul needed to be called, but,
sure,
and we would never complain, but man, that was fun for him to be able to put that rebound back down like that with the dunk.
You know, guys like Saunders and Williams, you look at and you think, yeah, it makes perfect sense. These guys can throw it down, no trouble. Russell's got some high. I don't know. You don't know of any leaping program Coach Hunt's got going on, do you?
We haven't talked about that at all, but Saunders, I like how tough he was with the ball coming down there in transition. We've seen that out of Morgan. They will take a beating coming down through and stay body control and give themselves a good shot in transition.
Connects on both. Lead now up to 15, which is a game high for the Trojans, despite how hard Emery's worked this quarter.
Just a few second difference.
Let's see. They want a double dribble. They're going to give the timeout to Emery.
Coach Justice saw things weren't moving well. Knew it 10-second time was coming. Quickly got it before anything else.
So let's talk a little bit. Despite the effort from Emery in this period, hasn't really translated to a whole lot.
The points have been hard to come by for them. I mean, they've worked so hard and they've done everything they really, really could. The ball just has to fall through the hoop sometimes, and that's hard. That's one thing about this Morgan team is they can really score. They get 70 points a game pretty much, and so when you're Emery, you just need a couple of them to fall. You need the ball to bounce your way. We talked about those big breaks in the third quarter that Morgan got. Emery had been outworking everything, but then Morgan ends up with 4 points out of the deal as they were able to get that tip out and then the other piece. So you got to keep battling. Take every possession for what you can and try to see if you can get 3 stops in a row. But the stops they're getting a lot of the times, but they're just not able to convert. So got to get Morgan's transition shut off. They've got a lot out of that here in the third quarter.
Oh, you know, that's key to a well-coached team, right? Morgan came out a little flat-footed, how quickly they've responded.
Got back up, got back into that 3-2 zone, and that's changed things for them.
Thomas has it poked away, recovers it, hounded up front, trying to get rid of it.
Pressure right there without fouling. That was nice. Much better job by Peterson.
Franson denied by Saunders.
And he had that help side come. I mean, the front side was guarding Williams, but Saunders comes with that help side to block it out of bounds. So Williams stands him up and then gets blocked out of bounds by Saunders. Here comes one of your box sets. Where is he? So Will's on the ball side. So Breck they might look for a corner 3 for Breck. Go for
Franson. They're going to say offensive foul. Legal screen.
You know, Brody's ball pressure sets some of that stuff up. He is so active defensively. So as he comes around, oh yeah, Jeff's just cleaned him up. Got a little careless. He sets great screens, Will Jeffs does, but that one got a little wide excited about hitting Brody.
Well, you know, the best screeners usually know how to push right on the envelope, right? And occasionally, like you said, you get a little excited.
Just a little excited right there. So see what Morgan could do with 10 seconds left to go.
Goes middle to Saunders. Backdoor Williams. Beautifully done. Lays it up and in. 4.2 on the clock.
That's more of the shot I expected to see against that zone all game long, as this time they finally sealed hard, got it into the drop zone and bounced past to him. Beautiful execution there in the third quarter.
End of 3. It's Emery 45, or Morgan 45, Emery 28. Fourth quarter action coming up next on TeamHive.live and KSLSports.com with ETV.
As a urologist, my job includes treating kidney stones, diagnosing, treating prostate cancer, and other disorders of the urinary system. Here at CVMC, specialists and primary care physicians all work very closely together.
As a family physician, being able to have continuity of care and direct relationships with our specialists is something we're very fortunate to have here.
I'm Dr. David Sewell, board-certified urologist. I'm proud to provide state-of-the-art care here at Central Valley Medical Center.
Are you a new CDL license holder? If so, Barney Trucking would like to train and pay you to become a world-class truck driver on state-of-the-art equipment. They also provide you with reliable, courteous support, a fantastic wage, paid holidays, solid benefits, home daily schedules, paid time off, an excellent safety record, and respect. Dependable truck drivers have been Barney Trucking's #1 investment since 1947. Start your outstanding career by applying today at barneyjobs.com. barneyjobs.com.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back on in. Fourth quarter underway, 45-28. A lot of good hoops being played in Utah County these days. Dustin, first time since 1988, BYU won back-to-back games against ranked opponents.
Oh, there you
I just don't, and me and my dad were talking about, I don't think there's been a lot of opportunity with that.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You're going to get opportunities in the Big 12. So.
Yeah, that's a big change that they have that opportunity. Look at that ball pressure. Brody, he's tough on the ball.
Johansson's got it high, hands off left side. Franson three, that is denied by Williams. Catches the outlet. Picks up his dribble, just didn't quite, and give Emery some credit. Those guys filled the right spots.
In transition well, yep.
Knew Williams wasn't a threat to shoot it in transition. Peterson gets wide open, misses. Tip ball, Franson's got it. Deflected by Saunders into the hands of Johansson.
Here comes that pressure.
Sheesh, it is immediate as Franson's got 3 and 2, and Coach has got to use another timeout.
And that is brutal if you're having to call 2 timeouts because you can't get the ball down the floor. And you talked about that immediate pressure. It came up and on was so good. They're doing a better job this half showing their hands, moving their feet. You watch their feet move. My goodness. Sit down, disciplined. They don't stand up. Good, tough pressure right there by Morgan.
This is 40 seconds into the quarter.
Right.
I mean, just relentless.
And coming out with this lead that they have, 17 points, then they're able to come out and put that kind of pressure on you. That's tough.
7:20 to go. It's same score that we had at the end of the quarter because they put another second back on, so it's really 39 seconds in.
Okay.
Just so impressed, though, with Morgan, right?
Well, we talk about that they're the #1 seed.
Right.
We know how active they are. They've got their length, and now they've started executing better against the zone. They settled a lot early in that first half. Now you saw that last to end the third quarter, beautiful setup, hit the drop zone, and then seal and dump. And that just makes things change right there. But I think it comes back to how they're doing it, not giving up so many 50-50 balls. Emery's having a little tougher time getting to them. Morgan, very active right now.
45-28. Again, coming up after this ball game, we've got Canyon View, the #2 seed, taking on the defending champs, Judge Memorial. From what I understand, J.J. Apethjang is not playing in the tournament.
Oh, that's too bad. That is, from what we've seen, the best player
in 3A.
In 3A. That's terrible that he's not able to go. Did you hear what's the matter with him?
I have not. Brad was the one who informed me this morning. Brad talked with a parent that's up there that he knows well, as Franson nearly has it poked away. That's a big loss for Judge Memorial. He's the defending MVP in 3A. Taken away. Throw up from Saunders. Peterson. Bounce pass. They're going to call the foul beforehand, which that actually benefits Morgan because of the missed dunk in that case.
Yeah, the missed dunk ended up happening, but just that pass from Brody. Comes in, he's got 2 guys on him. He threads a beautiful bounce pass to his teammate because he knows he's going to run up and get that catch. The trust in how the speed they're playing is fun.
How about the look ahead from Saunders?
And that was a great flip up ahead to Peterson.
Right wing 3, Hansen. It's strong. Long rebound. Peterson's got it. Sends left corner. AC 3 on the way. In and out. Rebound Johansson. And Emery gets it out ahead to Franson.
Emery's. They've worked so hard. Another really good rebound.
Out of bounds. They force Hertzman. Just using that sideline as a defender.
And that time, it was close to those other calls, but they were able to get no call and recover the ball, and that sideline benefited them.
6:37 to go here in quarter number 4 is the Morgan Trojans looking to advance, get back to the state quarterfinals. Ball right side, AC. Middle, back inside out. AC drives, pull up floater, good.
Simplified, just put Saunders on the high post. Got down underneath, and they've just stretching that zone and starting to really execute.
Johansson gives up top. Hertzman swings left corner. The skip from Butler high. Johansson catches, puts it on the floor, sends it left side. Offensive foul. Bracken Saunders. Can't say enough about all the intangibles he brings. Obviously very skilled, right, and athletic. It's the little things that have impressed me most about him this afternoon.
Shifted up in that zone so well. Seeing him coming off of that and going downhill, he shifts up, gets in legal guarding position, and just gets ran over. Well played by Saunders. And the ball pressure, though, that helps send him downhill. You got to talk about how that got him overrunning instead of being under control.
Hansen trots across the timeline. Picked up by France and goes right side with it. AC deflected by Herdsman. Back to AC. Saunders turn, catch, shoot, miss. Tipped out by Scott Johansson to Franson. Franson's going to give it left side. And was that deflected? Let's see here. They're going to say stays with Emery with 5:46 to go.
That's Emery's body. Their movement looks a little different. They're slowing down a little bit right here. See if they can find something to get up, get some momentum going.
Butler to send in baseline. Left side, Johansson with it. Doubled and doubled hard. Sends it back up. Taken away by Saunders.
They see so well, and they come up in those passing lanes.
Pace with the finish on the other end from Saunders. Filling lanes perfectly.
That's that body language. I said it the wrong way with body movement, but that body language, you can see, just caught him off guard. Good job to throw it up and get Scott a good catch down into there. Maybe I get him moving a little more.
So Johansson with the two, back down to 19 now, 49-30. 5:18 to go. Left side with it's Russell, gives back up top, swing right side, AC deep, NBA three, that's good.
That's the shooter AC is. I mean, he can just shoot it if he's under control, and you saw how his feet were.
Franson answers with a three, so now Emery getting a little momentum, but it's coming after made baskets.
Yeah, it is. They've had to wait to get a couple made. Franson, good to see him to be able to catch and shoot, as we're talking about how well AC can shoot it. He gets that one.
Ball goes top, Hansen pumps with it, deflected. Oh, they're going to say kick.
That was interesting.
So now we're going to get Thomas back in.
His foot came out, but
the ball just hit the ground.
Right,
yeah.
His foot came out, so it looked like he could be going there, but it bounced way before his foot. So it's understandable how that was seen.
Hansen with it straight away, right side. AC goes back. They go middle. Saunders turn, catch, shoots, no. Pace, offensive rebound. Call a foul inside on Emery.
Good job, Pace. He's just working hard to clean up those tough twos that Saunders shoots up there from the nail. He's done a good job of just rebounding some more.
Ball goes left side to Russell. Now back
three.
In the corner, Saunders takes it baseline, gathers, sends back up top. Three on the way, Hansen. Good.
They guarded the corner three well, but then with the extra passing and then the dribble to draw the zone in, will open it wide open for Hansen.
Thomas, Franzen, three straight on, no. Rebound comes down inside.
And we've hit that point in the game where you see Emery, they didn't even really bring much after the offensive glass that time.
Herdsman out front on Hansen, goes middle. Saunders turn, shoot, miss. Just not a lot of fight right now, as somehow Wes Johansson kind of lucked into that. Hands off Thomas, transition triple, no. Long rebound, Wes secures it. Gives back to Franson.
Game, he works hard.
Push shot for two, and Jay scores it. Timeout to Emery here with 3:43 to go in an 18-point game. You got a little grin on your face here, Dustin.
Oh, got to understand the type of shots you should be shooting in this situation, and turning and shooting at the nail, jumping and throwing it at the basket's generally not the one, so that's what I'm grinning about. But I Coach Justice right there, getting a good timeout as his guys waited to score, but Wes staying working hard. Hey guys, let's see if we can go back and play every possession. Let's get the most out of this next 3:43 and get better here. And so I like the timeout. Can see the momentum going. If you're Coach Hunt, hey, yeah, we can score, but we can get that shot anytime. So let's get us a wide open, great look. Let's clean our execution up, because as this tournament progresses, those shots that are just contested twos, they'll be there. But we need to be able to execute to get great shots as each game is going to get tougher.
Well, and you look at it, this is 3 games in 3 days, right? Momentum and rhythm and all that play just as big of a factor as anything else when you get down to the very end.
Absolutely, and that's you love that feel if you can get executing really, really clean here with a 20-point lead and then start rotating some guys in. But if you can't get that clean movement, it's frustrating. Before, for me, I always wanted to get that feeling good, and then let's get those rotations in and let's try to get some guys some minutes and a little bit of rest. So Emery can come up with that 2-2-1 out of the timeout. They did get them to turn it over the last time they ran it. It's only really the one time they ran it.
Ball comes in Hansen, right side AC with it. The left-hand dribble goes left side Hansen. Gets to Saunders, Brockton catches, down low. Fumbled by Russell, and it will go out of bounds to the Spartans.
That 2-2-1, doing a good job. The pressure really high and heavy. I talked about that they could throw over the top, but the pressure keeping those guys looking to throw the short passes rather than the ones that will get over the top of that heavy forward 2-2-1.
Hansen out on Herdsman. 3:28 to go in the ball game. A 20-point lead for Morgan. Looking for a date with Juab tomorrow night on this floor. A high pass, it's poked away. Ball gets now into the hands of Hansen with 3:17 to go. Left-hand dribble for Hansen. Out front guarded by Thomas. Comes off the high screen. Dumps it low. The turn from Pace. That does not fall. Tipped out of bounds. Last touch by AC.
Walled up. Good defense. They got into that drop zone hit, but the double team came quick, and they were walled up and made that a really hard shot for Pace.
So AC will sit. We're going to get number 4, Jack Hurd, in.
So you're starting to see some of that bench play coming in, getting some extra minutes.
Devin Rasmussen checks in for Emery. As Thomas up top picks up the dribble.
Thomas has done some good stuff for the Spartans today.
Oh, you look, he's just a sophomore. Griffin just a freshman. They're going to have some players.
Just reloading.
In Castledale over the next few years as a bump and foul out front.
Always have size. Guys that can shoot 3. That's what Thomas is showing us. He's come in and shot well different times of the game.
Made a nice move, split the defense, got a little bank shot. Sends left side Johansson. Scott puts it on the floor, gets to the rim, draws the foul. It's going to be 2 shots for Scott Johansson.
So big and strong, he had quite the mismatch there. Went in, able to draw the foul.
2 shots here for Johansson. We're going to see West check back in.
And Butler.
First one is no good. Emery has not shot great at the line tonight. I haven't gotten a lot of opportunities, period. That has not been their game this afternoon. He'll get one more. Coming up next, again, Canyon View and Judge Memorial. Defending champs, taking on 2 of the best scorers in the States.
Flip Saunders, and I think Trey Ty Attic is as good a point guard as there is in the tournament as well.
Without question. Russell hits the 3.
He's so good.
That puts it up to 23. No, Attic, that's going to be a kid who's going to have a chance at the next level. He's got good size for the point guard position.
Sees it well.
Yeah.
He is a fun basketball player to watch. It'll be fun to see how that one comes out. But without JJ, that'll be interesting to see what Judge can do.
3 on the way, Johansson. Front rim, no. Tip out, controlled by Hansen. 2 minutes remaining here in the ballgame. Morgan's going to cruise into a semifinal matchup. With Juab, Coach Hunt's going to take a timeout, get some subs in.
Yep,
yeah.
Got another guy on the floor.
Get the freshman Brighton Wimpy checking in.
And he's liked how he can shoot it. Coach Hunt, he creates shooters. He does a nice job there. Those guys, he'll maximize when you get the freshman on the floor in the state tournament so he can feel it out. You might need him down the stretch here in the next 2 games. Right now, looking to see what Canyon View's Judge going to bring at him, as he hasn't seen either one of those this year.
They didn't play Juab, did they?
No.
Morgan?
No, yeah, sorry. I skipped over Juab right there. That was my bad. But, yeah, they'll have Juab first here. And then you've got, because you were talking Canyon View, I skipped over on the bracket. My brain farted bad. Sorry.
Hey, it's only 12 o'clock on it's a Monday. We're used to this starting on a Thursday. We still got Monday brain.
We need our Thursday preparation. So, yes, they're going to see what Juab brings, as Juab played an excellent ball game against South Summit. They really did a great job and controlled that game almost start to finish. Defensively, tougher than nails, and then offensively, able to finally get their rhythms going. They were a little bit erratic to start with. Got things under control.
And let's tell you this much, Emery just doesn't have a player like Austin Park. Now, it's going to take a lot more than Austin to beat the likes of this Morgan team, but that always helps.
It does help a lot. It'll be interesting. That length matchup will change a few things that Coach Cam Wright can do, but I thought he really handled the length of South Summit well today. It is a different length out of Morgan.
The drive, right side, Russell picks up his dribble, goes low to Pace. Pace powers, gives on the cutter through the hands of Jack Hurd, out of bounds.
Well, we talked about this, in different games that we call, but being able to catch that pass, understanding how hot you can put it, and need to put it, and let alone who's coming and how good are their hands, because those are hard passes when they're that hot.
Ball comes into Franson, now Butler. Looks to trot across, minute 43 to go. Spartans will get South Summit tomorrow on the consolation side of the bracket. Right side, Franson with it.
I think that 2-3 zone can cause South Summit some problems.
Agreed. Butler pumps in the lane. Beautiful pass. Jeffs lays it up and in for two.
I like how Butler used the extra dribble to lift the defense that much further off of his teammate to give him that nice look. Good ball movement by the Spartans.
Ball goes down low to Pace. Shovel pass Russell. 10-foot jumper in the lane is good for two.
Just sharing the ball, getting what they can to make it easy.
Wes Johansson down the middle of the lane. No look dish to Jeffs, pump fakes and lays it in again.
They just lift that backside help off and just give your teammate the ball. It was just comfortable. I like the head fake, just easy dump, and Jeffs put himself in a spot to score.
Reverse finish from Pace off the dish from Hanson.
Kind of feels like an all-star game right now. Just kind of going back and forth scoring. Oh, that doesn't, though.
Yeah, that was a foul out front, and that will be just the third team foul on Morgan here with 40.6 remaining.
Butler uses he back dribbles a lot with the ball, keeping that ball body man with his back, but he does it pretty good going at a pretty decent speed. Kind of got the defender in a bad spot.
Rasmussen sends in high to Butler. Left-hand dribble, gives to Johansson. Inside the arc, poked away. Russell, is he going to get his dunk moment here? Franson saying no, and a foul.
Took it away from him. He was going to do one behind the back. He was showing off a little bit. Like Franson getting back. He did a good run through, too. He didn't just do a hold on to you. He sprinted all the way back and made a nice run through and played on the ball heavy.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That's how you foul. That's how you don't give it up easy.
That's how you be disciplined as a basketball player, to know, hey, we might be getting beat, but there's still a possession being played, and I'm going to win this one. And Franson did.
Free throw good from Russell. 63-39. He'll get one more. Trojans, again, a date with Juab tomorrow night. Spartans will match up in the afternoon tomorrow with South Summit.
It'll be fun to see how that one comes along. The Juab matchup obviously will be a key semifinal matchup, and Coach Wright coached a great year. Got the Wasp in the semifinals against the Trojans.
Third time in 5 years Juab's made it to the semis, and in those other 2 years have at least made an appearance in the championship game. So that will end the ball game. It's going to be Morgan 64, Emery 39. Your final score here from the UCCU Center at Utah Valley University. Our first semifinal matchup set, our first consolation matchup set. We'll take a quick break. We'll get Brad to print these stats out and come back and recap it for you next, right here on TeamHive.live, KSLSports.com, and ETV.
My parents know nothing about gaming. I told them we needed Centricom Fiber because it's by far the fastest and most reliable internet speeds.
Hey bud, dinner's ready. Time to turn off the game box.
All right, this round's almost over.
These days, kids do a lot of their homework online. They talk to their teachers, they receive assignments, and they do research, all from our kitchen table. That's why I chose Centricom Fiber Internet. They have the fastest and most reliable connection, so my kids can stay on top of their schoolwork.
State Bank of Southern Utah is not just another bank. We are your neighbors, your friends, and your local financial partners, interested in building long-term relationships.
When you choose State Bank, you invest in our community. Your money stays here and is reinvested in friends and family, building Southern Utah.
Each one of our 17 branches is staffed and ready to serve you.
Come and experience the difference of true community banking at State Bank of Southern Utah.
Your car carries you and those you love through the days and years. It deserves the best care you can give it. At Burt Brothers, we can help with that. We've been doing it better than anyone else since 1991, and we'll keep doing it to get you through all the important moments on life's roads. Because cars are more than how we get from here to there, they're how we get from there to here. Find your nearest store and discover special offers at burtbrothers.com.
Live high school sports action on Centracom Channel 10 and the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Welcome back on in. 64-39, your final. Morgan gets the win. They advance to the state semifinals where they will take on the Juab Wasps. Brad James, award-winning statistician Brad James, has delivered our numbers here at the half. What do they tell us, Dustin? Or for the second half, through the whole game. What do they tell us?
Well, Morgan assisted the ball well. Got up to 17 of them, just to the 9 of Emery. Rebounds balanced out pretty good, 28-30. Morgan got a few down the stretch there. We love the effort of the Emery Spartans, especially in that third quarter. Up in there. Last 4 minutes of the game, they kind of coasted a little bit there, and that's understandable. What happens. Free throws, you had 3 for 8 for Emery. You talked about that just wasn't that great for them. Morgan able to get 7 of 9, so they were able to clean that up. Their shooting percentage climbed from the field goal, climbed up a whole tenth. They got 46%. They executed cleaner and got better shots in the second half, did Morgan, and you saw that's where they started separating as the turnover piece. We talked about Emery was on pace for 26 of them. They did get 26 turnovers, and that they didn't like that trap. We talked about that at the start of the game, as how's Emery going to handle that pressure? Can they? And overall, Morgan just overpowered them with that. And then after they started moving and making them chase, Coach Hunt went into a 3-2, set the guy a little more on the nail, and then that shifted the way that Emery was moving, and they got the long rebounds, held them to 1 and done, and just extending their lead slowly but surely, and moved through that. They ended up shooting, Morgan did, 36% from 3, which you'll take that, and then held Emery to just 17%. We talked about they needed 10 threes.
Yeah.
That was a number I had looked at and visited with Coach Paul, a couple other coaches, and we kind of thought, if they could get 10 made threes, that they could probably be right in this game. But shooting 17% won't give you 10.
No. Unless that's all you're taking. And even then, that's not going to get you very far.
Not going to work out.
Yeah.
So, you got to love the effort Emery gave. I thought they worked their tails off, did a great job. But if you can't get some of those shots to fall, and I think we talked about it in that third quarter, the momentum changer of getting the ball to bounce your way a couple times when you're Morgan. Emery had outworked them. Job, Coach. Emery had outworked them and done a nice job for 2 big possessions. The ball bounces up into Morgan's hands. They get a jump ball. Next time, instead the ball bounces up, they tip it out and get a dunk. That momentum shift, and that's what you got to have in the state tournament. The ball needs to bounce your way a couple times, and that time it bounced against Emery.
Right.
They had to have it bounce their way to be able to beat this number 1 team, and it didn't.
Real quick, your thoughts, this next matchup, Canyon View versus Judge Memorial.
We talk about Ty Attic. He's one of the best point guards. We've got some good guard play here, and Austin Park's obviously fantastic. We could go on and on. But
Sure.
Ty Attic, physically strong, big. Watch the way he keeps his head up and he facilitates. He knows when he's got to go get a bucket, and he goes and gets it. But otherwise, he gets all of his guys involved. Flip Saunders is so fun, and when he's being aggressive inside, you can't mess with him because you can't back off of him when he's at 3. Now, today's been interesting. These first 2 games, guys are not getting up on the high school line very well.
Right.
And it is impacting that 3-point percentage. Morgan was able to get theirs up, and Morgan's got guys that can shoot deep, but you could see when it was under pressure, when they were having to move, they were short. So I'm curious to see, Canview fun team. They've got a lot of momentum coming into the tournament right here. We'll be excited to see how they do. But I hate seeing the best point guard.
Sure.
Period. There's no
Yeah,
question.
it's not a debate at all.
No. JJ, half the game, I hate hearing that he's not on the floor because that guy was so fun last year. We got to call a lot of his games.
We did.
I'll miss seeing him here at the tournament. I hope whatever's going on, he gets that figured out and he can keep playing because, man, what a joy to watch that guy play.
The guy is phenomenal,
really
to say the least. That's putting it lightly. So, Dustin, good to be with you. Just getting started. We still got a long ways to go. Greg Sterner and I will have the call on this next game with Canyon View and Judge Memorial. Enjoy taking a break. You've been on you're mic's hot. It's been hot for two straight games. So we'll let you take a break. Good to be with you, my friend, and we'll catch up here in the next hour or so.
Awesome. Thanks, Tanner.
Big thanks to Barrett Hilton, producer extraordinaire. We'll take a quick break right here on Team Hive and be right back. It's number 2 Canyon View and number 7 Judge Memorial coming up next. Once again, your final score: Morgan wins it over Emery by a final score of 64-39, I believe, was the final of that one. So that wraps things up, and we'll be right back with more coverage next.
You've been listening to exciting high school basketball action on South Central Utah sports leaders, Mid-Utah Radio and Centricom Channel 10. This sports broadcast has been brought to you by sports-minded sponsors throughout South Central Utah. Join us next time for more exciting high school basketball action on Centricom Channel 10 and Mid-Utah Radio.